Hello. So today I am reading from The Great Awakening by Mike Dooley, and he is in conversation with 6 renowned channels. I'm going to be reading from this on page 102, and it's the channel by Daniel Scratton. So this is to give you some sensitive ponderings so that you can wrap your mind around things that you want to create in the world instead of wrapping your mind around things that are not directive and not going to give you the life that you're wanting to create. You're looking at the things that are fearful or not what you want, and this will empower you to take some time and really go after what I'm sharing in here. And I think that this is what I try to share is there's all different levels too, that so somebody who's just waking up to somebody who's been awake for a while, there'll be something in here and hopefully in everything that I share on these sensitive ponderings that will take you further, help raise your energy, will give you something really powerful and juicy to think about, break apart, evaluate, read the energy, discover something about yourself and about the world and about the cosmos and source. So here we go. So I'm starting on page 102. How did this all get started? In the beginning, there was Source, and Source wanted to know itself. To do that, Source had to create individuated conscious beings who could have certain experiences and who could go to different parts of Source to have those different experiences. This created the idea or the illusion of separation between individuals and made it necessary to have physical bodies. It also became necessary to have a forgetting process that would allow people to have certain experiences or to be certain beings, ETs included, that you can only have when you forget who you are and everyone else really are. This is also when you start to believe in the ideas of mortality and shortages. There's only so much to go around, and if I don't get more than my share, I might perish and no longer exist. These are the types of beliefs that needed to be taken on by people throughout the universe to have certain experiences that they could only have within that forgetting. This is you. And in having those experiences, certain emotions were and are possible. You cannot feel a certain way unless you've forgotten who and what, you really are, and that you created this reality. That the reality you're experiencing is your creation. This forgetting is necessary in order for you to feel victimized and have the experience of being in the pit of despair. What do you do then to get out of the pit of despair? Well, if you're awake, it's a lot easier to make that climb. But even those who have yet to awaken can come to the place where they accept that this has happened in their lives and that they have had this experience with this person who was very unpleasant, realizing that if they just sit and wallow in their negative emotions forever, they could possibly spend the rest of their days in that pit. And so they want to get out. They realize that there must be a way out of this bad feeling situation they find themselves in. The journey and meaning of your emotions. You will find now that most people who have done any sort of work or research on spirituality or psychology or are in the helping professions recognize the importance of feeling your feelings. That it's necessary for you to accept your feelings. You have to accept the situation. You have to accept the person. You have to accept yourself for being in the situation, which does not mean blame yourself. And you have to accept your emotions as part of the process of being human. It's a part of the process of living on planet Earth and having certain experiences. When you get to that point where you can accept and process your emotions, you can then let them go by feeling into them with every fiber of your being, with breathing into them, with embracing them, and knowing that they're finite. Understand that if you do, they will eventually dissipate. That's when you're doing the necessary work on yourself. The thing that many people don't realize is that there is an endpoint to the negative emotions they're feeling. They don't have to numb themselves with street drugs, alcohol, or pharmaceuticals that were prescribed. They don't have to numb themselves with shopping, gambling, sex, smoking, or any other type of addiction. Any addiction can be seen as a way of numbing oneself to pain. When you realize that there's an endpoint to the pain you're experiencing, you're willing to go into it, feel it completely, and therefore let it go, release it, and you'll come to this place of calm, peace, and inner balance. You'll feel neutral. You don't feel great, but you feel some relief. You'll get to the point where you feel no more negativity. It's from that place where you can say to yourself, I want to forgive this person. I want to let this go as well. I don't want to hang on to this hate or resentment or anger or fear or whatever it is you're feeling around a person or a situation. It doesn't feel good. You want to let it go. You don't want to go back to the pit of despair after just having climbed out of it by processing all that really hard to feel emotional stuff. Instead, you decide you're going to forgive. You say to yourself, I forgive this act and this person. Then maybe you come to the place where you understand that that person themselves was abused or hurt in some ways in their life. They were struggling with something that was very hard for them, and they took it out on you. You might even come to a place of feeling some compassion for the person that hurt you. Now, when you get to this point and you're able to connect to the unconditional love that you truly are, it doesn't mean that you're saying, I love the abusive act, or I love the abusive words, or I love anything that was done or that was negative and hurtful. But you can say, I choose to be love in the face of this, because that's who and what I really am. Therefore, when we say you understand, we mean that you are beginning to viscerally grasp that you are source, even if only as an intellectual concept at first. Let me repeat this. Therefore, when we say you understand, we mean that you are beginning to viscerally grasp that you are source, even if only as an intellectual concept at first. What may begin as, well, I get it. I get how it all works now. I've seen the studies on quantum physics, how particles respond to one another and respond to the observer, quantum entanglement. I get all that intellectually, evolves into true awakening to the truth of who you really are, who you were before you're forgetting, literally defining that source is through the feeling of love. When you really want to know yourself as source, you want to be love unconditionally. When in the face of anything, no matter what's going on, no matter what's not happening that you want to happen in your life, you can say, I have decided that I want to be love. It's my goal in all situations to radiate love, to respond with love, and to give others the love that perhaps they're not getting from the places they expected to get it in life. That's a very satisfying feeling because now you're allowing source energy to move more fluidly to and through you. Now, we said earlier that everything is source, everything is composed of source. Still, in your lives, a seemingly separation, you can best give yourself the experience of feeling more source by tuning into it when you're focused on your heart space. It's easier for you to access the portal that takes you directly to the source energy dimension when you're focused on the center of your heart space, the organ, the chakra, its space. Tune in to the very middle of it and you'll feel a warm glow. You can feel a sensation of love. So think about this, and I'll see you next time. Take care. Till we meet again. Love, live, matter.